Won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Well, actually, you can buy one because what we're looking at here are 3 Mercedes-Benz car models. These are produced by NZG and they're in the larger scale of 1:18. The packaging for all 3 models is very similar, so let's unbox the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. The boxes are windowed and come in NZG's black house style. And just to prove they're genuine merchandise, there's a Mercedes-Benz hologram on the back. Let's proceed to open up the box and see what's inside. And the first thing to note is that there are essentially 2 trays. One forms a base for the model, and the other forms protection to the sides and top. There's some tape to cut to lift the top tray off, but that still doesn't let the model come out of its transporter. And if we look underneath, we can see why, and that's because it's actually screwed to the base. There are a couple of tools included with the model, a plastic pointer, and there's also a screwdriver. And we need to use the screwdriver to detach the model from its base. There are 4 screws, so it is securely held. And after plenty of wrist action, the model does become free. On this model, there's one other thing to do. And that's just to remove some temporary tape that's on to stop the doors opening during transport. There's no assembly to do because these models are complete out of that box they're in. In this review we are looking at 3 different models. Model 101521 is the EQA, and Model 101661 is the EQB. And finally we have Model 102212, which is the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. The EQA and the EQB are very similar, so for the detail we'll look at the EQB. Underneath you can see the floor pan, which has some detailing, but right way up the model looks really nice. There are colour-coded mirrors and small name badges. And the wheels look very good with the disc brakes behind. There's also a moulding round the wheel arch. At the front we have the expected Mercedes-Benz logos, and the lights also look very convincing. The shape of the body is captured really well, and there's an NZG number plate. The door handles are formed well, as are the various window seals. And there are luggage bars on the roof, which are plastic. At the rear the curved body shape and lights are impressive, as is the loading plate under the hatchback. The rear bumper is also very nicely shaped. Looking inside, the detail is excellent, and the steering wheel is really nice. Detailing on the inside of the doors is also to a high standard, as is the plate on the lower door frame. Looking inside, the central console also looks very realistic. The C-Class has a different looking floor pan, and because this is not an electric car, you have a full exhaust system modelled. The tyres look good, and all of these models have the model name and number printed on the floor pan. Again, on this model the wheels look really high quality, and they give the model that special look. Again, at the front you've got the distinctive Mercedes-Benz logos, and the mesh grille is very nicely modelled. The air intakes under the grille also look really good, and again there's an NZG number plate. Looking at the windscreen, there are windscreen wipers, and the interior has got a nice clean look. There are colour-coded door mirrors, and the shaping along the sides of the body are really nicely done. And again the windows are convincing. At the back we have a nice pair of exhaust pipes, and the high quality paint finish really helps the lights and bodywork stand out. Looking in through the sunroof you get a very good look at the interior detail, and that starts with the doors, which has the armrest and buttons fully detailed. The detailing around the console is excellent, and graphics are used to represent the computer screens. Looking closer, and the floor pedals have been modelled, and the centre console is very good too. These are large models, so let's check the weight. And the EQA and B are very similar at £1 11 ounces. or about 0.8 kilograms. In terms of rolling the cars along, they go as nice as you would expect from a Mercedes-Benz. And if you're keen, you can set the steering. And although it's not the tightest of steering, it does give you an interesting way to pose the model. And of course, if you always wanted to drive a Mercedes-Benz, then you can do it on your desktop. In terms of other functionality, the model has opening doors on both sides, and they open to a very good angle. You could use a plastic pointer to open the doors, or an extremely small hand if you've got one. The doors shut with a satisfying clunk. Let's roll up the C-Class and put it on the Cranes Etc. weighbridge. And it's a very similar weight, about £1 11 ounces, or 3/4 kilogram. The C-Class also rolls extremely smoothly, and that's all helped by the weight of these bigger models. If you want to be driven around a bend, you can set the steering, and again that gives you a moderate steering angle. Notice the skill being used here to drive the C-Class. This model also has the functionality of opening front doors, and they perform every bit as well as those on the EQA and EQB. These are high-quality Mercedes-Benz car models, as you would expect from NZG. They're not the most functional models because they're designed to meet a Mercedes-Benz price point, but they look great and they go very well on NZG's Law car transporter. Overall, these models are very good.